But I want to move on and give the floor to our parents, our concerned parents, our New York City citizens. I want to give them the voice. So next up, I want to invite Kaushik Das. I saw him earlier. If he can come up and speak. Where is he? Is Kaushik here? Kaushik is here. Great.
First of all, let me ask all of you, how many of you are first-generation immigrants? Second-generation immigrants? Keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Second generation. How many of you are Latin descent, of Hispanic descent, of Jewish descent? Asians? All of you! The DOE calls you privileged!
That's it.
The DOE calls you... I don't know what else they call it. They say that you have access to education that they don't. Do you?
We're not minorities. We're not minorities.
Are you minorities? Are you white adjacent? Because that is what the DOE would have you believe.
No!
That is not what I believe. I believe, and we all believe, that everyone here has access to education and accelerated education for their kids and appropriate education for their kids. That means if they're performing above standards, that education gets to be met. If they're performing and they need special needs, that also gets to be met. This does not make us racist. Do I look racist to you?
No!
I do? I look racist?
No!
I am part of systemic racism. Is that what you would have all these people believe?
Just continue.
Okay.
That nonsense.
It doesn't matter. My daughter goes to 5th grade. We go to a school that is half G&T, half Gen Ed. People that believe in equality would eliminate the G&T aspect of our school. Do you know what happens to our school when that happens? The school ceases to exist. It ceases to exist for Black and Hispanic students. And it ceases to exist for Asian students, white students, all students, purple students, green students, don't care. It ceases to exist for all of them. Is this equality for you? No! This is what the DOE wants. This is what they want. This is not what we want. This is not what we stand for. We stand for accelerated education for all. We stand for education for all, period. This is what they don't understand.
They don't want to understand.
They don't want to understand. They don't even want to hear it. Any voice in opposition to theirs is an invalid voice. They want to nullify us by making this a violent protest.
Yes.
Is this violent?
No! Peaceful!
This is meant to be peaceful. We got permits, we arranged this, and they want to destroy what we have. They want to destroy accelerated education, schools that work. That is not what we want. That is not what we want for them either. We want more. We want better schools for everyone. We want better schools. We want better schools in the outer boroughs. The DOE has failed the outer boroughs many times over. It has definitely, I agree with them, it has failed Black and Hispanic students everywhere, including my daughters who are half Hispanic. It has failed them everywhere. We want better education everywhere in this city. It is not about eliminating schools that work. It is about elevating all other schools.
Yes, sir.
Give everyone appropriate education wherever possible. In every district, in every county, in every borough, in every school.
Yes, sir.
This is what we believe.
Hi, my name is Maria Ria, and I'm 11 years old from New York City. I came this 1 year ago. With a little bit of English. We are minority, we are to survive daily life. I have a big dream, Mayor Bill. Don't destroy our city's education systems. Let us show our dream becomes true. I want to go to college because I want to get a good job, so I can have money and live a good life with my family. I'm willing to work hard to achieve my dream, but I need your help. I need you to give me the best education so that I can prepare for college and be the best I can be. As a children, because COVID-19, we are already our country fall apart. Don't let education system be a part of failure.
Thank you, Tania. Those were really strong words. Thank you so much. Ms. Zeta, would you like to speak next? I'm so today as the founder of the South Asian Fund for Education, Scholarship, and Training. I want to turn the mic to a new friend of mine from Queens, Miss Mazeda Udin.
Sitting now. Don't let our minority under attack. We are minority. I am immigrant from Bangladesh. My name is Mazeda Udin. I am Executive Director of South Asian Fund for Education, Scholarship and Training. Parents of 5 children from public school. Separatist is an organization that provides service according to immigrants' needs. We work with the biggest cluster of Bangladeshi community members, and our service extended Pakistan and the South Asian Democratic and large at all 5 boroughs. The New York City of today is very diverse, more than 640 languages in New York City metropolitan area. I am requesting Mayor de Blasio, you are not done yet. You need to recreate our education system better than any other states. We are minority. You are attacking minority. You are attacking in our color.
That's right. That's right.
Minority children education are under attack. Please keep gifted and talented programs in the city public school. They inspire excellence and motivate the students to try their best.
That's right.
Without this program, the quality of education will definitely spiral downward. Let us maintain the gifted and talented programs in our school.
Yes, ma'am.
Allow these students to be best they can be. And Mayor de Blasio, prove us you are doing best the running city, and prove us you are the best mayor for minority children we are. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
That have been fighting to keep our school admissions, fighting to keep an expanding GNT, fighting to keep competitive admissions, and fighting for the SHSAT. First up from our parent leaders will be Deborah Alexanders. Deborah.
Thank you, Johnson. Listen, politics often divides us because we have different ideologies. Contrary, however, to divisive, inflammatory, and inaccurate rhetoric, we all want the same things. We may disagree on how to achieve them, but don't be fooled by the hypocrites who say what was good for my kid last year is suddenly an abomination. We want to open the umbrella. We want the children who are going unseen to get their appropriate education. We need universal GNT assessment in an opt-out model.
Absolutely.
Universal Shazat testing. We need to talk to accelerated educators who will tell you that GNT education is not a prize to be won or redistributed. These are children with particular educational needs that the DOE wants to dismiss as quote-unquote smart kids. Have the opponents of this designation bothered to learn about them?
No.
Maybe they should read some books.
Yeah.
I apologize to all the kids whose circumstances are exacerbated by the uncertainty the DOE has caused by not releasing an admissions policy that they are either too incompetent to have figured out or are too busy not wasting a good crisis.
That's right.
Finally, to the kids in neighborhoods whose opportunities were stolen by the DOE. Our opponents might not see you. We see you. We believe in you. Access to accelerated education for all.
Yes.
We have Maud Marin. She is a staunch advocate for accelerated education and a co-founder of Place NYC.
As Yachin said, my name is Maud Marin and I'm a public school parent. And as many of you know, I strongly support what we all know we need in this city, which is integrated schools with high academic standards that meet the needs of all children.
Yes.
New York City public school kids have a right to a great education, which lets them live up to their true potential. And there's so much potential in every borough, in every district, in every school. We know that every child can benefit from a more challenging and rigorous education than they're getting right now. Yes. Our schools are essential, and we need them open. Schools can't be last on the list behind restaurants, dentists, retail stores. Children's education and children's development can't wait. There's a growing body of evidence that makes clear we can open our schools safely. I don't hear from our mayor or our chancellor a plan to reopen our schools.
He has none.
And I don't hear a plan to offer the SHSAT,
Not
to
happening.
expand gifted and talented programs, or to even tell us how our children will receive grades so we can know if they're learning right now. They've had 8 months to plan this, and all we hear is, not yet, or worse yet, it's political. Playing politics with our children's education is not acceptable. This is not the time to dismantle successful programs. As other folks have said, we have 160,000 kids who are looking for a middle school or a high school, and parents deserve answers. Families need to know where their children are going to go to school. They need to know that the programs that they've depended on will still be there, and they need to know how the process is going to work. Shame on the chancellor and mayor. New York City families deserve better.
Yes,
I want to say one more thing. I have it here in my hand the permit that we sought to come here and speak today at this event. And I want to say that I don't think I know all the answers for how to fix all the things that are wrong in the schools. And there are people who have different ideas than me and different notions of how to fix things, and I welcome that conversation with other parents. Respectful conversation with people who have different ideas and how to reach our shared goals should be the norm. Trying to silence people and shame people and bully people so that they can't be heard is unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
In our democracy. And the people who want to silence parents should be ashamed of themselves.
Another co-founder of Place and a parent that I've been working with for over a year. Chen, you have the floor.
Thank you, everybody. I don't think I can finally push, but I'll try. My dear fellow parents, New Yorkers, and Americans, I want to make clear the underlying principles of our rally today and of our cause every day. Let there be no misunderstanding or from detractors making false accusations. We advocate on behalf of all children to have access to appropriate, rigorous, and high-quality education to meet their needs, to help them achieve mastery of math, ELA, science, and all subjects, so that they can succeed in higher education, have high-paying careers in the future, and good life outcomes. We don't have that today for all our children. We need more opportunities. Today, gifted and academically rigorous programs and specialized high schools are few, far away, and takes highly engaged parents that not all children are lucky enough to have. We want to make them available everywhere. Give students access with a simple process and enough seats for all children who want to be in such programs. Right now, there's shortages here. You can't, even if you qualify for G&T, you don't have a seat.
There's no room.
Expand G&T.
Expand G&T. Expand G&T.
And we want to make sure that every grade, children of every grade, and especially those graduating high school, they are told the truth about where they stand academically. Right now, there's grade fraud. The DOE gives passing grades or high grades to kids who don't show up, who don't do the work, who don't take the tests. Does that help them?
No.
Does that help kids succeed in life if they're just passed without knowing math?
No.
Teens take charge. Do kids succeed in life if you can't do the math?
No.
Can you get a job if you can't do the math or read?
They can throw a bottle.
But we're trying to help to this cause, to make sure that every child that passes a grade, passes high school, is at least proficient, if not mastery level. We want all kids to succeed. That's what we're all about. Let no detractors tell you otherwise. Join our cause. We push City Hall. Mayor de Blasio, Chancellor Carranza, tell them get out of town, get out of education. They failed all our students, and they indeed are putting us against each other. Let's not do that anymore. Let's fight for the same cause, for all our children. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have David Rem. He is a parent of a student at Stuyvesant and a huge supporter of the SHSAT.
I want to thank everybody here, all parents for all children in New York City. Thank you very much for being here. We need to keep gifted and talented programs and the specialized high school for all New York City's children. Does everybody hear me? For all New York City's children. Recently, the DOE's Adriana Austin, who's the Deputy Chancellor, stated that the specialized high school test is political. No, it's not. They are making it political. It's a test for all children of any color, race, creed to take. Chancellor Carranza and Mayor Bill de Blasio want to kill gifted and talented programs for all New York City kids. Carranza, when in a room unaware that he was being taped recently, had the audacity to state, never let a good crisis like the COVID-19 pandemic that I almost died from go to a waste. Carranza's daughter went to what is described as the Stuyvesant of California, namely the Screen School, Lowell High School in San Francisco. Bill de Blasio's daughter went to the Screen School, Beacon High School, and his son, Dante, went to Brooklyn Tech and then on to Yale University. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Screen New York City's, they are hypocrites. The Screen New York City's schools and the specialized high schools are good enough for their children, Carranza's and de Blasio's, but they want you to believe that somehow they're not good enough for your children, or your children shouldn't even aspire to go to those schools. We should never believe this fallacy. In October 2020, the wonderful organization Pacific Legal Foundation produced a documentary entitled Dream Factories regarding the unfair racial quota-based entry discovery program into the specialized high schools via the discovery program, which is not merit-based. One of the persons interviewed that impacted me tremendously was a gentleman, or is a gentleman by the name of Robert Lowry, a top Brown University economist who was also an African-American gentleman. Give me 1 second here, I lost my place. Yes, sir. Mr. Lowry's main focus, well, first of all, he's an African-American, one of the top African-American economists in the world, Brown University. His main focus was and is to let me fail, he's speaking for himself, let me fail or succeed based on my own merit. And that it would mean nothing to Mr. Lowry. It would mean zero to Mr. Lowry if, for example, Black Lives Matter would have petitioned for his approval of the top economist just based on his skin color. He wouldn't even accept the award. We need to fight de Blasio and Carranza for keeping gifted and talented and the specialized high school test. And we should call on de Blasio to fire the incompetent, racist Richard Carranza immediately. Fire Carranza! I'm gonna close in Spanish for the Hispanics out here in the audience. My daughter is first She's born to a first-generation Colombian mom, standing right there. Okay? She attends Stuyvesant. She gained entry into Stuyvesant not by the Discovery Program, but by merit-based. And me as her father, I would not accept an entry into Stuyvesant or any of the other specialized high schools if it was based on the Discovery. That is insulting. It is insulting to Black and Hispanic parents for them to think or try to push down their throats that their kids aren't smart enough to gain entry into those schools on their own merit. I will wrap up in Spanish. Nosotros somos hispanos y estamos soportando completamente los programas de Gifted y Talentoso y también las escuelas Screen en Nueva York y también los 8 escuelas especializadas como Stuyvesant, Brooklyn Tech, Bronx Science, York College, en los otros 8. Nosotros los hispanos y Bill de Blasio y Carranza, escucha esto, su misma gente, hispanos, ya hemos perdido la confianza en usted. Hemos perdido la confianza del racista señor Richard Carranza y pedimos al alcalde de Bill de Blasio que deben echar la racista de Richard Carranza inmediatamente por ser totalmente incompetente para ser líder de los 1.1 millones de estudiantes, todos los estudiantes, no blancos, no negros, no chinos, no indianos, no bangladeshis, todos los estudiantes en Nueva York. Échale al señor Richard Carranza al fuego. Fire Richard Carranza. Fire the racist.
Fire Richard Carranza! Fire Richard
I forgot to mention one important thing. The tax exam, which is the exam for all of New York City's Catholic high schools, has just been announced that it is going to be given on November 6th. So why hasn't de Blasio and Carranza announced when the specialized test is going to be given? It's very simple. They don't want to give the test, but they need to announce. If they're not going to give it, announce you're not going to give it.
Next, we have a parent from Booker T. Washington, Miss Maria Berensky.
Thank you. I would like to address my comments to the mayor. Looking at us, we can ask a question. Why are we here today? Well, there are 2 reasons for me why we're here. The first one is because we want to provide our children with a good education. Look around you. What do you see? Ordinary New Yorkers, working class families, many immigrants, first-generation Americans, second-generation Americans, all concerned about the quality of education and all wanting the best for their children. The mayor should understand that. His own child went to Brooklyn Tech. I'm sure that mayor is proud of his son making the cut.
Brooklyn Tech, yeah!
Well, our kids also want to make the cut.
That's right.
They work hard, they study, they achieve, they want to be challenged. It is that drive that keeps America great and makes for an educated civil society that can distinguish between demagoguery and true leadership. Furthermore, as taxpayers, our tax dollars go to funds spent on the schools. Frankly, our hard-earned dollars don't go very far in New York City. But we do have the specialized high schools, the jewels of this mostly failing public school system. And no one should be able to take them away from us.
That's right.
Especially by preaching false ideology.
Right.
The second reason that we're here is that we want to remind the mayor and his chancellor to obey the law. The Heck-Calandra Act mandates that the SHSAT shall be the sole determining criteria for admission to these schools. The act is still on the books, and the test must be administered. We have about 100,000 New York City residents, school children and their parents impacted by the politics of this administration. That is a lot of anxious and frustrated voters. Education should not be politicized, and as a publicly elected official, the mayor is expected to follow the law. Politicians should not stoop to using a health crisis as a means of depriving our children of education. Open the registration for the HSAT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for your words. Next, I want to introduce Rokia. Rokia, please come up.
All children matter. 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 All children matter.
And I request you don't attack our children's education. Please save our children and save our city. We are not terrorists. Before we please give our children gifts.
Thank you, Rokia. Thank you very much. Another parent. She is a mom of a student at PS 33 in Manhattan. Her name is Motoko Shibuji.
Hi. First, thank you everyone for working so hard with the intention of making New York City a better place for everyone, especially for our next generation. It takes a village to raise a child. We are all raising our children together in this beautiful city. I came to America hungry for diversity. I came to New York City loving the energy of the people in this city. Thank you, New York City, for raising my children with me. My children love their schools. When I asked if they wanted to come with me today, they were excited. And then realized it was Friday and they didn't want to miss school. They love their schools so much. But I know not all the students in New York City loves their schools in the same way. Why? I am here to ask a question. DOE, why do you spend millions of dollars, time and resources in theoretical training of DOE staff and privileged people and the restructuring plan? Not clear to us. Why don't you spend that money for iPads, Wi-Fi connection, and IT help for those students in immediate need instead? Or to extend the Single Shepherd program to younger students, even pre-K families, in this difficult time. Students in some charter schools are performing excellent in the very same neighborhood, in the very same community that many students are left behind in public schools. How can we uplift them in public schools like they do in some charter schools? I am a strong believer of early childhood education. Uplifting and empowerment must start from an early age. Why are there so few gifted and talented elementary school programs in some neighborhoods? Have you even done enough outreach to those parents and families? My daughter's daycare teacher and parent friends told me that my daughter should take the GNT test, and it's free, so I did. But there was no outreach from DOE. Why not? I'm sure there are advanced learners everywhere, not challenged enough, therefore lost interest in school. Please don't throw away what's working. Please don't take away the only access for advanced learning for our children in this city. Many of us have no means to send our children to private schools. Please don't make advanced learning a privilege for only the rich. Expand the access to gifted and talented programs across the city. Offer real help to those in need. There's no true integration until you truly uplift everyone. Please be transparent, include us, and let's work together for our children together. Thank you very much.
A parent who feels inspired to speak. His name is Mr. Georgi Petrov.
Hello, I'm a first-time immigrant to the United States. I have 2 children in the U.S. public system. And one of the greatest things about this country is the idea that if you work hard, you can achieve everything. So the only thing we're asking for is that to let our kids prove that they work hard, to enforce the law as it's currently written, and give us a date for the test. It's very simple. That's it.
Go back, tell everyone about what you support, and remember to vote November 1st. Whoever you vote for, remember to vote. Thank you.
Thank you.